push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? It is a Thursday edition of the Ysn Power Hour, proudly powered by our friends at Toyota of Warren and DJ Yoakley. Richie Giuliano with you here on this Thursday. I am at the future home of your sports network, Athletics, here in Columbiana. And Richie, you are literally at the present home of Richie Giuliano in Canfield, Ohio.
My new office for the time being.
Your remote office for the time being. How are you, man? It's been a minute since we last had you on the show.
We were talking last night. I've been busy traveling with baseball. It's been a pretty interesting slate. Kind of been all over the country. Started in North Carolina and Winston-Salem. Then we moved down to Memphis, and then we played our last game in Texas. So it's been a wide variety of areas around the country we've played in. They've done pretty well. I mean, taking 2 out of 4 against Baylor is pretty significant. That's the first time they beat a Big 12 team in now 13 years.
Wow.
So it's been a long time since YSU's beaten a team like that. I know they've had a couple of Power 5 victories in the past, beating Pitt last year, beating Penn State. But I think Baylor is kind of like the eye-opening one where it's like, wow, they had a chance to win the series on Sunday. They took 2 of the first 3, and it's been fun. They're playing in Kansas State, Manhattan, Kansas this weekend. Unfortunately, we're not going to make that trip. It's just too much on the travel. So they'll be on ESPN Plus if you want to watch it. But it's been a busy stretch the last 3 weeks.
You've been a busy dude. I mean, I think the world – we talked about this last night. The world kind of changed February 3rd for all of us at YSN, and we kind of went into COVID mode. But, dude, you have been a jet setter as I have the last 4 or 5 weeks. How do you handle that? Like, I don't like it when people ask me how I handle it. I don't know. Like, I don't. Like, I feel like I don't handle it at all very well. But you have it all like in tow, in stride. You've been able to do a lot of this, and traveling with the team and being able to have a lot of the guys around you and kind of pick their brains. Do you like traveling like this, or is it something like, this is for the birds?
No, I do like traveling a lot. The last week, though, it kind of hit you hard because, 2 weekends in a row you're on the road, and we fly back on Monday. So you spend all day in the airport and on a bus on Monday. So you don't really get back till like 4 or 5 o'clock, and you're so exhausted because the time changes are what really kills you. Like, it's Central Time Zone there, which is only an hour. But when we went to Vegas, that 3-hour time difference, when we came back, it felt like it was only 8 o'clock and it was like midnight. So it really screws you up when it comes to sleep for a couple of weeks. But, just getting your body prepared and getting enough sleep, I think is the biggest thing. Like, instead of going out and doing stuff while you're there, I value sleep a lot. Like, I'll go to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock. And because we wake up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock every morning. So, if you're not ready to go, it's going to be a long day. And we played a total of 19 innings of baseball on Saturday. So, that was a lot. There was a lot going on. There was extra innings. It was just if you weren't, well rested, you're toast.
I joke with my wife because I tell her my favorite roommates always value sleep. And that's you and her. She loves it's 5 o'clock at night and she's like, I can't wait to go to bed. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. She just got out of bed and she's like, I can't wait to go to sleep tonight. Richie, you are the same person. It's incredible. Whenever it boils down to it, you're sitting there to go, man, I can't wait to sleep. Except for, I will say this, In Vegas, you, my friend, were like, you had never ending energy. It was incredible.
Yeah. Well, that was different because like you get yourself ready to go. You're like mentally prepared. You know, if you're going to Vegas, you're going to be out at least one night that, is past 1 o'clock in the morning. So I
Which
was
is like
ready
4 o'clock
mentally.
our time.
Yeah, 4 o'clock our time. And what makes you prepared is the fact that it was a 3-hour plane ride, I think.
Mhm.
And then we stopped in
Yeah, we had 4-hour plane ride.
Yeah. I mean, sleeping on the plane helps a lot. It's a lot tougher when you're in the middle, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, I know that you had a nice passenger next to you that fell asleep on your shoulder. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of tales from the road that we can tell. But one of the things that we've been talking about a lot lately is opportunities, and the opportunities for YSN, and how we've been able to continue to fight through some of the things that we've gone through in the home front, whether it's East Palestine, whether it's keeping these games going. We have 3 teams left in basketball. We have record-breaking seasons and years last year in 2022. And you have been a huge part of this for the last 4 years and a huge part of our future. But, so one of the secrets that we've kind of held close for the last couple of weeks is you, my friend, are at least taking a little bit of a sabbatical from YSN to accomplish some of the things that's on your bucket list, and why it's really, really, really crappy for us in losing you for any length of time. It's a really great opportunity for you, and we couldn't be more proud. So I am excited for you, but I want you to have this moment to tell people kind of where you're going to be for at least the next 6 months, and where they can find the golden pipes of Richie Giuliano.
Yeah, I'll be down south. I got the opportunity for a AA baseball job in Knoxville, Tennessee, with the Tennessee Smokies, who are AA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. So I'll be spending my summer there in Knoxville, starting April 1st, hopefully ending, end of September 30th, and coming back home and, getting right back on YSN and doing some football. But for, the summer months, I won't be at Ysn Park. I won't be with Red up in the press box. I'll be in Knoxville. So, I'm excited for the opportunity. I couldn't turn it down with a AA job. And, that's something that a lot of people in this industry just don't get to do. It's going to be a pleasure to move on and, show, what Youngstown brings to the table out there, and, kind of bring my experience that I have with YSN and everything else, and, show the world in Tennessee what we have to offer as well.
So for you, and I've known you for basically since the inception of YSN. What was it, 2018, right?
2018 was when I met you in Beagley.
Yeah, 2018. So you have that. You have all the experience that goes with it, and you have been the number one announcer without a shadow of a doubt for us. You have grown so much in the last year since you've been out of school and taken on a load of things for YSN that I can't even begin to kind of go down your resume of what you've done and what you've learned from the business side of things, and also understanding kind of the behind the scenes that you didn't have to go through from a student perspective. Your bucket list, man. I mean, I know that when we talked in 2018, you said that you wanted to be a major league announcer, and I was so excited for you because right from the jump, I knew that you had a shot, and this is a great opportunity for you. Obviously, AA baseball, not everybody gets to call it. What are you most looking forward to through this endeavor the next 6 months or so?
I think really it's a challenge. There's a lot of different challenges that I'm going to take on that I haven't in the past because, covering Youngstown State, they have a guy in Dre Smith who does a wonderful job with the media and the game notes and writing all the recaps. And, now all of that and all of those responsibilities are going to be put on my shoulders. So it's not just prepping for games and calling baseball games at a AA level, but it's also having people around me that I have to guide and lead, as a leader, and tell them, hey, this is how we're going to do our game notes. We're making a media guy that's going to be over 100 pages long. So that's going to be a huge project before the season. So it's these different projects on a daily basis that we're going to have to take on and work as a team to kind of do to make the Smokies media one of the best in the Southern League, which is down there in the South, consists of, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, those states down south. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a challenge. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to the most, is the challenging part of the job, making a media guide of over 100 pages. And then the game notes every single day. Those are going to be 15 to 17 pages long as well. You got to update those every night. So I'm looking forward to the challenges the most, because, calling the game itself, traveling with YSU, I'm calling high quality baseball. Like, got to see the number 5 team in the country in Wake Forest. So, the talent's been there. And what we call on a daily basis at YSN, we see kids all over Youngstown that go to the next level and succeed at some pretty big Division I programs. So it's kind of like the media relations side of things that I'm looking forward to the most, because like I said, Dre, Trevor Parks, all those guys, they do an incredible job with YSU. And then the Scrappers have media interns that come and do that stuff for us as well. So, taking on a new challenge in that department.
From a standpoint of YSN, what are some of the things that you've learned with YSN, with us, that are invaluable taking on to your next journey?
I think preparation's the big one. That's where I really learned how to prepare. Making Excel sheets has been big with my time at YSN. We've done a lot of stuff when it comes to the All-Star game and making our Excel sheets. Those are a couple of the things. And then for me, when I went into the office, I think that was kind of eye-opening to see how, the business side of an organization can work. Like when I go to Tennessee and work with the Smokies, I'm going to take calls from people that, want information about where they can find the games, where they could watch them, where they could listen to them, how much tickets are. Now, I'm not going to be dealing with a lot of that stuff because they have their own ticket department, but, just being in the office on a daily basis and kind of seeing the stuff that you go through when it comes to the emails that come in through the office, the phone calls of where they can watch Massillon, Washington against Austintown Fitch. I think it's more the business side of things that have helped me out a lot. And for those that are in our YSN kind of banner, I would recommend spending a couple days with you in the office, because it's eye-opening. When you're just getting called to do games, it's a completely different perspective on how business works and what money you need to raise and what departments it needs to go in so that the business can succeed. So I think that was pretty cool for me to kind of spend time with you a lot, and then understand that, we're doing this for the athletes, but we also have to make money ourselves to be able to put out this nice product for the student athletes to enjoy.
So obviously, for those of you just joining the show, you've got Richie, who is moving on from YSN, this little tiny speck of a broadcast in Northeast Ohio, to Tennessee to do AA baseball. Richie, I can't tell you how happy and excited I am for you, because this is just one of many steps towards your dream. And I'm living mine on a daily basis. And I told you, we will do whatever it takes to move mountains so that you can do yours. What is the ultimate dream for you, man? I know that people will tell you that, along the way, that you can't do this because you're from Canfield, or you're from East Palestine, or you're from wherever USA. You're living it, man. And you're living at the ripe old age of 23 right now. What's the major goal for you?
The goal is to get to the big leagues. I've had the same goal as when I met you in 2018 at Big League Center. That's always been the goal. But for me, it's been focusing on, my task at hand. Like, when I was working in the office, I never really thought of, what's going to get me to the big leagues here. I'm thinking of what's going to make my broadcast tonight, the best it can be on our network, and what's going to get us the most amount of views when it comes to sharing this broadcast out there with people. So it was more of hey, I want to focus on what I have at hand, what needs to be done this week, more than, I need to focus on, getting into the Indians organization as their radio broadcaster, because it takes so many steps to get to that point. There's no guarantees that anybody will ever get there. A lot of it's through connections, and there's only 32 jobs available in Major League Baseball when it comes to, their radio and TV play-by-play guys. So it's such a competitive industry, and that as well, that, you just focus on whatever you can do to improve yourself and work as a team with the people around you, because that's really what it's all about. If we work as a team and we all work together, we're going to accomplish bigger things than what you can do by yourself.
So one of the things that I've always talked about is what keeps me going, right? What's my why, and it's changed over the course of the years. So I don't think I've ever even asked you, what's your why? What keeps you going? Is it you? Is it somebody that you love? Is it somebody you want to be? What's your why, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, I just love what I do. I think that's my why. As you grow up, you kind of see different perspectives, like of people who have jobs. Like my best friend, he moved to, Florida, and he does construction work, and he calls me on a daily basis, and he's always complaining about his hours. He's complaining about, his drive. He's complaining about this and that. And I kind of tell him, I'm like, I have nothing to complain about. Like, this is what keeps me going. I'm doing what I love to do on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if I'm flying all the way to Texas or not, because, that's what I'm looking forward to for the weekend is calling games. And, I love stepping in the booth, and, every single inning, every single pitch, to me is kind of like a dream, because this is what I imagined myself doing when I graduated high school. And that's the reason I went to Youngstown State, to be in the sports broadcasting industry, because I truly believed when I was younger that I had a chance and I had the passion to do what I love, and it was sports broadcasting. Like I would sit there as a kid, and I would have like figure toys and like helmets, and I would announce games when I was a kid. Or, then I would grow up, and then we had iPads, and then I would play like games on your iPad, and I would turn the volume down and I'd call those games like on my couch, So it was just like something that I really enjoyed doing as a kid. And I am so happy that I get the opportunity to still do it to this day. So that's really what keeps me going, is just my love and passion for the industry, for sports, for student athletes. And that's what keeps me grinding every single day.
There's people out there right now that are looking at you and seeing your success and saying, I want to be like Rich. I want to be like Richie Giuliano whenever I'm older. What tips and advice would you give to those young ones that are either still in high school, or the ones that are still playing with action figures just like you were, or even somebody that says, hey, this is something I've always wanted to do and I want to give it a shot. How do I even get started? What tips and advice would you give to those people?
I would say never say no to an opportunity. I think that's the first one. Like when you and Steve Leslie approached, at the time it was Christina and I, to do the games, you can't say no. You know what I mean? If somebody tells you, hey, I got a PA job for you with the Scrappers, take whatever you could get, because you never know who you're going to meet. And it also opens you up to different avenues to do different things. Like I've done a PA gig with the Scrappers that could maybe help me down the line. I've done some PA work. I've done some play-by-play work. I've done some studio work. Like everything you do to get to, college will help you, because you never know which avenue you're going to take in the sports industry. Like maybe down the line, I'll become a host or an anchor, at a TV station. You really never know. So saying no to an opportunity could really set back your career. And then my second advice would be, you really got to work hard. Like, in everything you do, you got to take pride in, whether it's your game preparation, doing interviews with your coaches or the players. Like there's going to be long hours in this business. This isn't a 9 to 5 gig. The hours can sometimes be a little dramatic. I know when we went to Vegas, we were flying all over the place for 4 hours. Then we were preparing at night. Then you wake up on Saturday and you're working from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like the hours are going to be tough. But if you truly love what you do, you got to work your tail off to get to where you want to be. Because, if you're, half, doing your job, then somebody's going to surpass you. And if you think your talent itself is going to get you to the next level, it's not, because everybody else looks at how you are as just a person outside of the booth. Like if you're a pain in the butt to work with, nobody's going to hire you. You got to be great at everything you do, and you got to work hard to get to where you want to be.
So from your perspective, we all have a ton of stories that we can get involved with and go through. What is one of your favorite stories, the highlights of being around here for the last 5 years? And what is the low light of being around here the last 5 years? I'm giving you carte blanche, man. I'm trusting you.
I guess one of the stories I have. So I'm doing a baseball game, and this is Northern Kentucky, and we show up, and the guy is like, I'm like, hey, I'm here with Youngstown State Radio. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. He said, we weren't sure if you were coming or not. And their press box is a little shack, and it's like right next to their dugout, and they can only fit like 3 people in it. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not going to go there. And then he's like, do you have like a generator or something that you could go up in center field on the hill? I'm like, no, I didn't bring a generator. There's no power there. He's like, no, there's no power there. He's like, we got a forklift over the third base dugout. Do you want to go on that? I'm like, is that thing the safest? I'm like, nah, I'm probably not going to go there. He's like, all right, well, you could just sit back behind home plate where the parents sit and do the game there. I'm like, do we have power to get there? He's like, yeah. So I'm sitting on a rock, like just a plain rock. You've got 2 guys behind me. It was Nick Perez and Colin Floyd, who are doing the stats for the pitchers. They're charting the pitches. You got all the parents like surrounding me in this large area behind home plate. I'm like net level. I've got like my laptop on my lap, my mixer's in between my legs. I've got like my scorebook on my left, like doing this. So that was a like unique experience that I'll never forget in my life. When I came back the next day, they're like, okay, we got a table for you and we got this and that. But calling a game on a rock where I was sunburnt from my neck because it was 70 degrees and sunny, and just people all around me was just an experience I'll never forget. But like with that being said, you never say no to an opportunity, because like if I didn't say yes to setting up there, we wouldn't have had a broadcast that day.
You figure it out, right? That's what you have to do. You have to, you have to kind of, you got to massage things a little bit, but the show must go on. You have to deliver.
And if you think you're going to get first class everywhere you go, that's never the case. Like, especially if you're the visiting guy or a guy that they've never met before, like they're not going to put you sometimes in the press box. So you're going to have to be ready to go and find ways to put on a broadcast, whether it's from the stands. I've called a million games from the stands in my career. Like, you know, if you think you're too good to do games from the stands, I don't think this business is for you.
Well, I mean, we have stories from just this month, this past 4 weeks, that we can tell about being in the stands and having, you know, zero power before we get there, and going on 2 minutes before we have to go on, we get power. So it's been incredible. What do we have here? Michael Dunn says, "Go Tigers, homegrown." Yes, we'll get to that in just a little bit. That is going to be a big one tonight. I like the chances, Rich. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the chances, and I like the way that we're going to deliver it with your cast tonight, coming back from the I don't want to say the grave, but being able to be resurrected from the championships in Canton. We're going to be able to resurrect it for championships in Dayton here tonight. We're here with Richie Giuliano, who still has, I mean, I don't want to say that you're leaving like right now. Like you're not, your bags aren't packed quite yet. But at the end of the day, the scenario looks like this. March 1st, or I'm sorry, April 1st. It sounds like that's your first day in Tennessee, no?
Yep, April 1st, yep.
So, I mean, you got to get down there. You got to get your own, your own place, get all that, transportations. I mean, you got your own car. So, excited, nervous? I mean, this is your first kind of, fly away from the real nest here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm not really nervous. I'm more excited because, I get to, not that I want to leave, Canfield and get out of my house, but I've lived here my entire life. So kind of take in a new environment and a new culture down there in Tennessee, traveling with YSU. I've been all over the place, traveling with you guys. We've been all over the country, but we haven't really stayed in a place for more than, 4 or 5 days. So going down there, I think will definitely be like a culture shock to me, because I'm going to be living with, one of the guys and interns in our organization. And then, it's not going to be like it is back home where, I could go down at any time and I could do laundry. Like I'm going to have to, share the laundromat with people. And, I just think for me as a person, it's going to help me out a lot, because it kind of gets me out of like my little shell here in Canfield and opens me up to like a real world environment. You know what I mean?
So to have a roommate, I mean, it's one of those scenarios where a lot of us get that whenever. Did you ever live on campus at YSU?
I did, but I live with one of my best friends, so it wasn't like.
Okay, so it's a little bit different. So, So for an open letter to your roommate here in the future, what things do you not put up with from a roommate standpoint, and what are your expectations for when King Richard rolls through the tracks in Tennessee?
I'm pretty easy as long as we're not, bumping hip hop and rap at 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm good. I don't care what they do. They can do whatever they want, and I'm pretty easy as long as they're not making a mess. I think that's my big thing. Like if they're making a mess all over the place and I'm cleaning up for you, it's like, dude, come on. Like, this isn't wherever I'm not your mother. Like, pick up your garbage.
There you go. You're not their mother.
Question, I'm not eating avocados yet. No, I haven't been eating any avocados.
I missed that conversation that you guys had about avocados because Sam loves avocado toast.
He does. It's all he eats, and that was a Vegas conversation. It'll take a while to explain, but anyway,
he lives that good life with that avocado toast. We just try to get whatever we possibly can. Fueled by the fire. All love, brother, from Ty Bartell. So happy you were, getting your opportunity. Cannot wait to see where this journey takes you. I mean, Richie, it's safe to say that everybody's rooting for you here, man. And it starts at the top and it goes straight through the roster here. The people that are calling games, you've called games with, you've broken bread with, we're all rooting for you. We're all so happy for you. You know what I mean? The opportunities that you are getting right now. I say this all the time. I say this at our academies. I can't wait to tell people that I knew all of you guys back when you worked for YSN. And if you work for YSN throughout your entire career and, we're able to win some championships together, that's even better. But I created YSN because it was my dream. And my goal is to allow each and every one of you guys that are announcers, that are part of this, whether it be student athletes, coaches, communities, and our own team at YSN, to live your dream. And dude, I am so incredibly proud. Like hard, like emotionally so hard not to even tear up because you've been like a little brother this entire time. I'm so incredibly proud of what you've been able to do with us. I'm so incredibly proud of what you've been able to do at YSU. This is well earned. This is well deserved. And nobody deserves this more than you do. And we're all so proud of you. Selfishly, I want you forever. You know what I mean? You're my right-hand man. You're the guy that, I always told that this is your face is going to be running YSN before you know it. And I still believe in that, but you got to go fly, man. You got to go chase your dreams. And if you end up in the major leagues, then man, I better get some tickets. But I can't wait to bring you back. And what the biggest thing that I want to make sure people know is because of technology like StreamYard and because of what we utilize, you're not like out of pocket. Like I still expect that you'll be on some of these shows or at least, hearing from you from time to time and popping up here in Northeast Ohio, telling us about your journey. You always, you're putting it off and you're saying, yeah, I'll be back in 6 months and da-da-da-da-da. Dude, I as much as I want that to happen, and I do, from the like deep subcockles of my heart, I feel like somebody's going to eat you up, man. You are a first-class talent, and I think somebody's going to get you. But you will always have a home here at YSN, and I want you to know that, so you can go back whenever and say, hey, man, you told me on Ysn Power Hour that I've always got a home. So that's always going to be the case, man. We're all so proud of you. We still got, a half a show to do. So we'll take a break. When we come back, I hope if you guys have questions for Richie and about his future pursuits, let him have them. He's going to answer them as honestly as he always does, as he can. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Springfield girls tonight and our expectations for that game and how you're going to be able to watch it or listen to it rather, and kind of, I don't know, consume it via your cast. All that and more when we come back on the YSN Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ysn Power Hour. DJ and Richie with you. I'm live from athletics here in Columbiana, the grand Pumbaa of all. I don't even know how to describe it, Richie. This is like the golden dome of all sports in our valley now, right here on Route 7 in Columbiana. Richie is in Casa de Juliano. Again, if you haven't joined us for the first part of the show, Richie taking off, going to Tennessee, going to spread his wings and fly away. The voice of the Tennessee Smokies in Knoxville. Richie, going to a college town, and people call Youngstown a college town, which I'm kind of on the fence with, because I don't think it's a college town as much as they think it's a college town. There's a college in Youngstown, but it's not a college town. You have to be looking forward to going down there and absorbing some of that volunteer, being right in the heart of volunteer country, that Knoxville, Tennessee. That's got to be exciting for you, even though you don't bleed that orange that they call it. What on the blind side she says, I won't wear that orange because it's hideous. Yep. I mean, that's got to be exciting for you to be able to soak up a little bit of that as well.
Oh, it'll be cool, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to connect with some people down there and call some Tennessee games, which would be really cool, with the level that they play at. I mean, baseball wise, they're really good. Football, they're going to be solid again this year. Basketball, they're one of the top 25 teams in the country. So, being able to see that kind of environment down there, because you're right, Youngstown, we do have a university, but I wouldn't say we're a college town in Youngstown. But, Knoxville is known for the University of Tennessee. So, going down there, and everybody's going to be wearing orange, and, I'm going to be wearing some red. I'm going to be wearing red for YSU, and, I'm still going to be supporting my guys because the season's still going to be going on, while I'm down there. So I'm going to be listening every single game, on YSN, whoever's calling it, yourself, Romo, whoever may be on the call, and, supporting my guys because, my heart rests in Youngstown, even though I'm in, Tennessee. So I am excited for that kind of aspect, though, because, I'm going to attend a lot of games there. When I have a free night, I would love to go down to Neyland Stadium and watch a football game, or, go watch a baseball game and, kind of relax, not have to worry about preparing for it, just sit in the stands and enjoy it. So that will be cool that it's, not only the University of Tennessee, but it's also a great, athletics university where they are top 25 in almost every single athletic program.
Brian says he can't wait to hear your call on a Tony Vitello ejection. Good luck. You got a lot of, and that's the thing, you're homegrown, right? You're a guy that's from Canfield, Ohio. You've been able to build your brand from the bottom up, and you've been climbing the ladder the entire time. For you, this is more than just a dream. This is, I mean, you said it already earlier. this is a lot of work that's left. And are you like, I guess a question for you is, are you kind of excited to prove to yourself that you can do it and on a grounds that you've never had anybody follow you before other than the people that hired you?
100%. You know, when I took this job, there's a nervousness surrounding it saying, will I be able to get this done? You know, because there's just so much work that has to be done in a short amount of time. And, you know, am I prepared enough for this? Because I do my own work and I do as much preparation as anybody else. But am I going to get used to doing a template every night that's 15, 20 pages long and, you know, continuously after working 10, 12 hours a day, staying up till midnight and getting this template ready for tomorrow's game. So there's still a lot to prove to myself. Like, you know, I'm excited to go out there and, you know, show the talent, voice wise and, you know, on the air for the Smokies. But, you know, I think the more I have to prove for myself is when it comes down to, will I be able to keep up with a media guide, game notes, post game story, pre-game story, recap, all this stuff. So I'm excited. I know it's going to be tough, but you know, I'm trying to get mentally prepared right now. So when I go there, you know, I'm not frantic. And I'm also trying to work with the people around me because we're going to have a set of interns that are going to be able to help as well. And, you know, I'm kind of responsible for coordinating their work and what they do. So, you know, there's a lot of different aspects of this job outside of just broadcasting. The majority of it is media relations, to be honest with you. Like broadcasting is kind of like a small portion. So I'm excited for that, in that I need to really buckle in throughout the season. You know, it's a longer season. It's more games I've ever called consecutively in my entire life. So there's still a lot to prove for myself.
So this is meant to be a positive question. What's your biggest fear in heading down there?
I would say my biggest fear would be disappointing the fans, you know, in any way. I mean, if I don't get something done and if I say something, you know, I think we do this for the fans aspect and for the athletes. Like, you know, we don't really do this for ourselves because sometimes it could be a really grueling, you know, schedule. It could be grueling hours. You take away family time, you know that better than anybody. Like, you know, Friday, Saturday, you're gone. Like, you don't have much family time on the weekend like everybody else where they could go out and have a nice dinner or go out and have a nice drink on a Saturday night. Like, we're working. So, you know, for me, it's making sure our fans are happy, that I'm doing the best job that I can to provide the best coverage for, you know, the guys that are playing at AA level, because, you know, they're sacrificing a lot of their time. They deserve the same coverage, you know, as anybody else. So, you know, they're getting paid little to none, AA, and they deserve the coverage just like our athletes do here in Youngstown. So I would say, you know, disappointing them and disappointing our fans would be a fear.
Is there something that, number one, you're most excited for? I know you're excited in general, but is there one thing that you're most excited for and looking forward to the most? Is it that first time hearing yourself on the air under the Smokies label? Is it just getting down to Tennessee and taking in the sights and sounds? What is the number one most exciting thing for Richard Giuliano as he heads down to Tennessee?
Spread my wings, getting away from home, I think, because I've spent, you know, 23 years here in Ohio. And I think going down to Tennessee is just going to be a different experience for me, you know, both in the business aspect, like my job, and, you know, outside. Like, there's different things I want to see. Like, they have beautiful mountains there that, you know, we don't get to experience here in Ohio. I know Ty Bartel, if he's watching, he's probably going nuts right now.
I knew it. I knew it.
Because that's all he talked about when we were in Nevada. But, you know, just getting away from home, living on my own, having to find ways to, you know, put food in my stomach on a daily basis. I got to learn how to cook now because, you know, my mom has, you know, blessed me with great cooking from the time I was a young kid. And now I got to go out there and I got to cook stuff because I can't be eating McDonald's every single night. So I got to learn to cook. Like, for me personally, it's going to teach me a lot about life, I think, like how to take care of myself. And, you know, that'll help me and my family in the future because I'll be able to raise a kid if I could raise myself.
Amen, brother. I'm going to give you the stage, and I'm going to give you your adieu to Youngstown, to YSN. As you know, we'll use this as content and something we can look back on forever and always. So I'm giving you the stage for however long you want it. Here's your swan song to the YS Nation, man. Here you go.
I guess this will be my spark too of the day. So here's my spark. And, I looking at these comments, it does mean a lot to me. So, I just want to thank you. I want to thank everybody involved, Brian, Steve, Leslie, the general manager, everybody at YSN, because YSN gave me my first ever chance in the broadcasting world. When I stepped into the Beagley Center in 2018 and you gave me the opportunity to call Youngstown State baseball, I think I was the happiest kid on planet Earth. So for me to start at YSN and kind of grow through the ranks, I've been here for a long time, like, 2018 up to 2023. It's been one heck of a ride. And I've learned almost everything I need to know in broadcasting through YSN. So for you to give me this opportunity to get me where I'm at, today, and now when I move forward into April to Tennessee, that's the reason I'm there, because what I've done with my time here at YSN. And I've had so many people that I've been able to call games with, learn things from. Hopefully I taught people different things along the way when it comes to broadcasting and how to conduct yourself, outside of the booth as well. So, I just want to thank everybody with all the great messages on the side here that have, wished me good luck, because, everybody's letting my wings fly. Nobody's holding me back, including yourself. Like, the first thing you ever said when I told you about the opportunity was, you got to do it, man. Like, I care about you, and this is how you get to the next level and where you want to be. So, it means the world to me that people want me to succeed, because, that's why I do it. I do it because we're a team and because I love working with people. And, the experience I've had working with the Canfield community, being able to call a state championship and, just see the happiness with the student athletes and the coaches that I've been able to interact with. Like, that's what keeps us going on a daily basis is, seeing people that are happy with the product that we put out and how this impacts the community. Grandparents that come up to us and say, hey, thank you for all that you do. I even got text messages from, grandparents that are in Florida watching the game saying, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to watch our grandchildren. Or if it wasn't for you, we're on vacation, we wouldn't be able to watch so-and-so. Like, just that, I think the little things in life mean the most. And, YSN's been able to bring those, little things into big things. And that's why this company now moving into athletics is going to start to grow, and people are going to see really what YSN is truly about. And that's not about ourselves, but impacting the community and the student athletes. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's helped me along this way. I know Anthony Hartwig's there, Chris Sigler, Ty Bartell, Sam Torres, Steve Leslie, Anthony Romo, yourself, everybody at YSN that, I've ever called a game with. Thank you, for getting me to this point, because I've learned something from everybody throughout my time here at YSN. So it's meant a lot to me. I'm excited. It's not the end. Like you said, I'll still be around. I could still come on and do the Power Hour from 3 to 4 if I want to, or I could still be featured on a show now and then. But, just getting out and, facing something new, a new challenge, I think is going to be exciting for me. And I think YSN's prepared me for that.
Dude, I'm an emotional wreck. I have been since you told me, but I'm so proud of you again. Like, it's exciting because it's that feeling that I know that probably, hopefully in the next 14 years, I feel with Z and then again with Bella as they move on. But you're the little brother that I've always looked to as a guy that has so much talent, so much heart, so much. You're the complete package, man. You're like the Lex Luger of the broadcasting world. You're the total package. So can't say enough about you, man. And you're not, I used to call you kid. You're not a kid anymore. You're a grown ass man, and you're doing big things, and we're so proud of you. So you're always going to be welcome here at YSN without a shadow of a doubt, as we're going to hit B. Miller's comment here. He says, congrats, Richie. One of the great ones at 330, spreading the voice around the country, man. Proud of you. We're all proud of you. I mean, and if you are not the chosen one for YSN, I don't know who is, man. So you're going to go kill it down in Tennessee and wherever you end up after that, even if it's back at YSN, selfishly, but we're so proud of you. All right, let's change gears real quick, because even though, I wanted to make this show about Richie, we still have some business to tend to, because the Springfield Lady Tigers, my friend, are playing in the state semifinals tonight. We will be having your cast up. Anthony and Noah Doty will be on the broadcast. Sam Torres running the stats behind the scenes. You'll be able to hear it for free right here on your sports network. One of my favorite things, even though it's not live streaming video. Yourcast is one of my favorite inventions, and I give all the credit in the world to Sam Torres because it's his brainchild. And once again, it's going to creep its beautiful head right back into your streams, right back into your Facebook, your socials, and of course on the Springfield channel as well. Richie, this game, I've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of talent for Toledo Christian, but I think that Springfield has the advantage with the matchup. What do you think Springfield has to do in order to get into the state championship 2:00 on Saturday?
I think they really have to be themselves. Like, let JC Mullen take over, let Brungard clean it up down low. It seems like when Brungard's underneath the basket, when Mullen's driving, you're already guaranteed, that offensive rebound and a second chance. So watching them play this year, I got to see them a couple times throughout the season. Lesnak's another senior that could lead the way. Toscano's a young sophomore that scores about 6 points a game. Like, they have a very balanced team. And they're going to have to work as a team tonight to win and get to that state final. And I think they could do it, truly. They have the mismatch down low at Brungard. And I think Mullen could be one of the best players in the state when it comes to kind of like a shooting guard where she could shoot it anywhere and she could also drive on you and score at the basket. So, Springfield is going to be a tough out no matter what. I'm looking forward to watching the game. And I'm going to put it on the Yourcast because – that's going to be sick. Like we premiered that for football. Like basketball is going to be a different animal. I already saw that screenshot that we put out on socials. Like that's going to be cool with the stats and the basketball moving. Like, when you go on ESPN and you look at like an NBA game and it's like, Kyrie Irving hits a 3 and it like shows where they shoot it and they hit it. Like it's going to be sick to see that like locally because you just don't see that unless it's like, the NBA. So that'll be cool. Yeah. And I think that'll be really unique for the listeners back home because, we're doing something that nobody's really ever done before because this is both a broadcast and a Yourcast. Like when you're watching ESPN, there's no sound to it. It's just the delayed stats that come in through like their little template they have. So being able to listen to it and then see it at the same time is going to be sick. Like nobody else has ever done that.
No, we're excited for it. Sam Torres, Anthony Hartwig, Noah Doty on the call. Sam's got the behind-the-scenes stuff, running the stats, making sure that the score is updated, the scoring is updated. Each player will have their own score, points and fouls and things of that nature. So you'll be able to stay up to date the entire time on the Springfield Lady Tigers, absolutely free. I know there was some confusion with this because we've been doing pay-per-view up to this point, but we get to a point where we can't do the live stream, the video live stream, and it irks me because we want to be there 100%, but we also don't want to charge somebody for just audio because I mean, when you think radio, you think it's free. Listen, we're still getting hit for the charge. I'm willing to pay that on behalf of YSN. I want people to tune in and be able to tune in for this, as many as possible, for this special event for Springfield because it's not every day. It's not every year. In fact, it's the only time the Springfield Lady Tigers have been to the state semifinals. And we want to make it special for everybody, something that they can package up and remember forever and ever and ever and ever. And then they can go back and, $2.99 or $1.99 or whatever it looks like, they can have it and keep it forever. So that way their kids and their grandkids can all know that they were in the state semis. And then hopefully the same thing happens on Saturday where we have it going and it's the state championship and Springfield can bring home that elusive state title that we've been waiting for and looking for in basketball in the Valley for so very, very long. So hopefully that's the case, but it all gets started tonight, 6:00, Springfield, Toledo Christian, right here on YSN, whatever you're tuned into right now, whether it's Facebook or what else do we have? Twitch, Twitter, or you can just go to the old ysnlive.com and click on that and it'll direct you right to the Springfield page and you can watch right there. We'll have engagement, so you'll be able to filter in with some of the comments. So if you're looking to shout out some of the players, Sam will be on control of the StreamYard, so he'll be able to filter in some of the comments and get some shout outs to the players and coaches and communities from around the area. So make sure that you're able to do that because that is one of the best, I think, one of the best parts of having StreamYard and having Yourcast is you can truly make it yours and be part of that broadcast from the first tip off to the final buzzer.
What's really cool too is like you could have like a community talking about the game within the game. Like you could have the game on, listening to it, and then you could also talk to your friends or family like on the side. So, I'd for sure recommend listening tonight and putting it on, and even if you're watching it on your TV, mute the volume, put it on your cast, follow along there, and then comment because everybody wants to have their own opinion when it comes to sports. Everybody's got their own opinion. This is your opportunity to put it in there. So like there's
nobody has their own opinion. What are you talking about, Richie? All right. Yeah. That's 6:00 tonight. I don't know if there's going to be a pregame or anything like that. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here, but 6:00 you'll be able to watch and listen to that game from a standpoint of your cast. And Anthony Hartwig again and Noah Doty have the call. Sam Torres running the ones and twos behind the scenes. I know you already gave a spark. You got another one because we are up against it. We'll hit the buzzer here, and we'll do What's Your Spark presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Joe Dickey Electric, anything commercial, residential, anything electrical, anything that makes you go bzz, you need to make sure that you call Dickey Electric or go to DickeyElectric.com for more information and tell them YSN sent you. All right, master of the spark today, Richard Giuliano, going for spark number 2, man. What do you got?
I think Sam needs some recognition because what he put together is very difficult and takes a lot of time to do. It's very sophisticated, like the whole graphics side of things, the overlay that you have to make in order to get it. Like when you're going to see it tonight, you're going to be like, wow, that's like super cool. And you can't even imagine the amount of time it takes to perfect that because you could put it together, but until you actually perfect it, like the football one with the moving football and the timeline with like it moving as the ball moves, like it's 2nd and 5, you got the ball there at the line of scrimmage with 5 yards to go. So like it takes so much time to do that. And, he deserves a lot of credit because he's doing it by himself. Like, it's only one person trying to do this. And I know we already did it for football, but it's a completely different animal for basketball. So, you got to give appreciation to him. So anybody in the comments tonight, give him a shout out.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Sam Torres has been, and I think we've talked about it, you and I, he's been such a very, very welcome addition to our team as someone who has been learning the ropes. Sam wasn't brought in just as a broadcaster. He is a great mind. He is an innovator. He's a great thinker, and he's a guy that wants to see YSN succeed because this is what he wants to do full-time, real-time for the rest of his life. So, I know how much you think of Sam and how great our relationship has become with 440, and everything that Sam stands for. So, yes, I'm with you on that. The other one I want to thank very much because we have a lot of gratitude that needs to go out. Excuse me. So everybody knows what's happened in East Palestine. Everybody understands it. I mean, it's been 5 weeks of tough sledding for the village. And what we've been going through, the reason that you haven't seen us in the studio and us together is because we can't get into our business. There is a creek underneath the studio and the business that is called Sulfur Rum. And it is right now loaded with chemicals that they haven't been able to get out because it's literally underneath an entire plaza. They're working on it right now, but it is butyl acrylate is what we're being told is in this stuff. So there's a distinct smell to it that makes some people nauseous, some people get headaches, some people get tightness of the chest, some people get sick, all kinds of stuff. So as the owner, very similar to the COVID situation, I've had to make a decision. And with people with compromised immune systems, battling the unknowns, we've had to make a guess and say, we're not going to go back there until we're absolutely sure of what we're up against and that it's safe, because that is first and foremost a priority for us, for me as an owner of a business. I can't bring guys like Richie and Anthony and Scotty, and I mean, the list goes on and on. So we've been kind of, homeless, I guess you could say, from that standpoint, because we put so much into our facility, into the headquarters of YSN, into our studio. We put, and this is no exaggeration, hundreds of thousands of dollars into our studio to make it what it is. And we're not getting much in the way of answers from a standpoint of insurance, but that is beside the point. The point is, there's good people in this world, great people in this world, like the Wardles, who, if you remember, we told you in January 1st of 2024, we would be coming here with a remote broadcast station, a studio that we agreed on with them as part of a partnership deal. And while I was in Las Vegas the last time for the 40 under 40, I got sent a picture of a framing job, which wasn't supposed to be completed until the beginning of next year. They started the YSN studio already, and it is going to be up before we know it. And they are being so cordial and so kind and making sure that they know that we have a home. It's important for them to know that YSN, they think enough of us at athletics and with the Wardle family as a whole to know what we do to this community that's going to give us a home again. That's why I'm at athletics today. I'm checking it out. When you come to athletics, as all of you should, walk right down the runway, right into the field house, right off the right side. You're going to see a YSN flags, proudly being displayed off of. Right now, it's just a frame job, but soon it will be the home of a remote studio for YSN, and probably if it's anything that I know from athletics, it is going to be the elite of elite in technology. The standard operation of what they do is the best of the best, and I cannot wait. It's been an emotional 5 weeks, but with all of this and Richie and then this, it's been wild. I'm excited to debut that here, and hopefully Richie, it's done the next couple of weeks, so we can pop you in here and you can kind of help us christen it. So I'm so excited. Thank you to Sean Wardle and the entire Wardle clan and everybody here at Athletics. And, this was an unbelievable surprise, and it means so much. So that is going to do it for our show. Richie, any final thoughts?
I think I've said a lot today. So, go Tigers. Let's get a dub tonight.
Go Tigers. Don't sleep on the couch. Snake will bite. Go Tigers. All right. We will see you tomorrow from 3 to 4 right here on your sports network. Thank you to our sponsors, Athletics. Thank you to our sponsors, Toyota of Warren, for helping us lead the way on this show. Thank you to you for tuning in. We'll see you 3 to 4 tomorrow right here on YSN. Thanks, Richie.